Hey guys, welcome back to Francesca's Books. My name is Francesca, these are my books, and here we talk about all things thriller books. But today I have something slightly different for you, and despite the volume of books behind me at all times, I actually am quite a big Kindle reader and I don't really talk about it enough. So that's what this video is going to aim to do. I got my Kindle about 2 years ago, and to be honest, I find it a lot easier to read on. So whilst I do read a lot of physical books, of course, I do also read quite a lot on my Kindle. So I thought I'd give you a bit of a run through, like a bit of a beginner's guide, and also at the end I'm going to tell you like how I get so many books for cheap or for free, because I feel like that's something that people are sleeping on with having a Kindle, because obviously you have to pay the price to purchase it in the first place, but then after that, like, your quid's in. So I'm going to start with like a commonly asked questions, like a frequent Q&A. People like commenting on my videos all the time about like these topics. Then I'm going to do a little walkthrough of my Kindle, show you like how I organize it and like some like quick customization tips that I love as well. Then I'm going to tell you the actual pros and cons so you can decide whether you want one, or if you have one you can definitely relate to these. Then I'm going to tell you like how I get my books. So this is going to include like Kindle Unlimited, but there's also like a few other channels as well where I get books where you don't have to be like a blogger or an influencer to get books for free. So I'll tell you about them. The question I definitely get asked the most is like, what Kindle do I have, like which actual model? So I have the Kindle Paperwhite in the 8GB version, and this is absolutely perfect for my like needs. This is completely tailored to me. It is the only Kindle that I've ever had, so I'm going to caveat that by saying I don't have a bar of comparison with like the regular Kindle or the more expensive models like the Oasis or the Scribe, but this one is just perfect for me. And then as a follow-up to that, this is the 8GB model, and I see a lot of people asking like, how many books does that hold? Like, is it enough? So before I bought this, I did loads of research because I was petrified it was going to fill up and just be like full, and then what do? Like buy another Kindle. But the 8GB model alone can hold up to 2,000 books depending on like page length. Like that's the rough guess. The 16GB can hold up to 4,000 books, and I mean, I don't think I would ever get to 2,000 books ever before I would want like an upgrade. So the 8GB was fine by me, but if you aren't a physical book reader and you're just going to read on Kindle, then maybe you might want the 16, but completely your call. I also get asked about like how often I have to replace my Kindle, and as I say, I've had this for 2 years, not had to replace it yet, but I don't know anyone that's had to replace it within like 5 years. Like people are still going strong with their like 10, 12-year-old Kindles. Genuinely, I get comments on my TikTok all the time like, I've had my Kindle since like 2008 or something stupid, and I'm like, okay, it's mental. They're literally just built to withstand anything. Okay, don't do that though. So next, I get asked a lot about the actual reading on Kindle. So mainly whether I can read quicker. Now, I don't think I actually read the words quicker on Kindle, maybe like fractionally, but I can sit for so much longer just like holding it, or just convenience wise. So in that way, I definitely do read quicker. Like it's always thrown in my bag, or I'm always just like, I can pick it up for 5 minutes. I find it a lot easier to just dip in and out of. You'd have to find your page, it's just right there. So in terms of that, I definitely do read quicker. I also get asked if I miss reading paperback books and like how I cope with like just having a device. And of course, I don't just have the device for all my physical books as well. And I do dip in and out of physical and Kindle like at all times, and most of the time, quite honestly, I do have one physical book and one Kindle book like on the go, because then I'll read my physical book when I'm at home, and then if I want to just like throw my Kindle in my bag, or if I'm going out or I'm just not sure if I'm going to be reading, I will pick up my Kindle book. Obviously that depends on which one I'm enjoying the most as well. And then I get asked like about the price of Kindle books. So mainly, are Kindle books free? Like once you've spent the money and bought the device, can you read the books for free? Unfortunately not. They do just work out like so much cheaper. They're obviously not free, but they go from like 99p or 99 cents up to about £10. But I've never paid more than a fiver for a Kindle book, because I would just buy the physical copy if it was going to be that much. But like it rarely is, like rarely is. And obviously at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you about some ways to get those like 99p deals a lot cheaper. So without further ado, I'm going to walk you through my actual Kindle. So this is my lovely Kindle. I'm very aware that I'm like super zoomed in right now, so just don't look too closely. But I feel like this is the best way to just actually show it to you. I do have my Kindle stand like hooked up here. I don't know if you can see that. I'll pop the link if you'd like yourself one of those, because this is one of the best things I've ever bought. So you open your Kindle, you land on the home screen, and you've got everything like your library, you've got Kindle Unlimited, you've got Prime Reading. So this is like the main opening page. This is where Amazon likes to recommend you some books, which doesn't always work out very well for me because I end up just clicking buy. If you want to go to the book you're currently reading, you can just see it at the bottom there, and it'll bring that straight up. And then this tab here on library will bring you to like your actual collection of books. So not a lot of people know this, but you can organize your books by collection. So I didn't know this for the longest time, and this is also one of the reasons why I wanted to tell you guys like some of my favorite tips. And if you do sort your books into collections, it comes up like this. And when a new book is delivered to your library, you can just go on uncollected and then put the book exactly where you would like it to go. So I've just bought this one here, and you can literally add and remove it to collection is so easy, and then everything is so nice and organized. So into the thriller TBR. So I have mine set up into a separate TBRs, so I'm really hoping you can see this in enough detail. It's like thriller TBR, Christmas TBR, romance, and then these are the books that I've read, so when I've read it I pop it in there so I know it's not like a to be read book anymore. It's almost like my shelved books. So if we go into an actual book, I will show you some of my favorite ways to actually customize the book itself. So my first favorite thing ever is that you can use dark mode. I think most people will probably know about this by now, but I absolutely it just means that the book is a lot darker. It's white text on black instead of black text on white. And this just works really well like if you're in bed and like wanting to go to sleep and there's just not as much light right there. Do you know what I mean? For the purpose of this, I'm going to zoom in so you can see like the actual text, but you can also do that as well. To literally just slide to zoom, but you can also deal with the font size as well. If you go to the little A at the top, you've got all these little customization things, so you can choose here, size up and down, whether you want it bold font, maybe slightly easier to read from an accessibility point of view, and then you've also got all the fonts here as well where you can change that. I just like the default font, and I feel like that's just because I was using it for so long without realising you could change it. So I'll take it back out of dark mode so it's a little bit easier to see. Also, if you're someone that likes annotating your physical books, great hack. You can actually do this on your Kindle as well. You just hold it down and drag it over the bit that you want to highlight, and then you can even write a little note as well. And these highlights do go straight through to your Goodreads. You can connect your Kindle directly to Goodreads in the back end in the settings, and then that will like come through as a note on Goodreads, and you can make that public or private. You can also see here like the actual contents of the book like you could in a normal book. Some books don't even have this, but the digital versions always will. And then you can actually go to the back end settings as well. So you've got in device options, you've got things like date and time, so you can have the date displayed or the time displayed. I always have my time displayed or I will just get so carried away. I'd be like, oh wait, 3 hours has passed, I didn't even realise. You can click this little button here as well, which saves the page that you're on. You don't need to do this if you're just saving your page as like a bookmark, but if you wanted to save a page for like a specific reason, like if there's something on it that you wanted to refer back to, then that works well for that. Okay, so as well, you can actually like access your Goodreads directly on your Kindle, like I was saying before. So you've just got a little option to go on it there, and it's literally going to bring up your legit Goodreads, so you can see what you're thinking of reading next. So I've got my want to reads, currently reading, and read, which is really good that it like actually just syncs up. Like this was such a little hidden gem for me. And then of course you can go to the actual Kindle store if you want to on your Kindle device itself. I find it easier just to go on my laptop and like look normally at books through Amazon, but this is a very easy way to do it, and it's not as slow as you think. Sometimes like the Kindle itself can be like a tiny bit laggy, and I don't know whether that's just my device or like the year of my devices, but I feel like even when I've watched other people on Kindle, there is a slight lag. You might have noticed like so far when I've been showing you things, it's not like as razor sharp as like if you're on your iPhone and it just clicks instantly, but some of the newer Kindles, I think this is not so much of a problem anymore. Not sure on that one. So go on the Kindle store, and then you've got like books for you, books you might like. So realistically, you wouldn't actually have to go on another device ever, because you can buy directly through this too. So that is a super quick guide to what the Kindle Paperwhite like actually looks like. And next I'm going to tell you about the pros and cons. So if you are still debating it, the pros definitely outweigh the cons, so I'm going to walk you through them. Firstly, of course, like it is so easy to travel with, and it's super light. It literally fits in any handbag, like even like little over the shoulder bags. I can take this anywhere. I've literally taken this on a night out before, just in case, like you don't know if you're going to be bored. It is impossible to leave it at home, and then whenever you're in those situations, like you can just take it out, like if you're on your own, and it really prevents like picking up your phone and scrolling as well, because you can like pick up the Kindle instead. Secondly, of course, it has a backlight which isn't super strong, but gives you the ability to like read in the dark. So if you've got your paperback and you've got a book light, I completely understand like that setup may seem on first glance like it's better for your eyes and everything, but there is no blue light in this. It literally looks like a book in the dark, like I can't even explain it. And of course, if you go on dark mode as well, like there's even less light, and you can put the brightness right down, and that means that I read a lot more immediately before bed, especially like if you've got a partner and you don't want to put the light on, or even the book light might be too bright. It's just easier. There is also a super long-lasting battery life. This is one thing that I didn't mention. So for example, I took this Kindle on holiday for a week, and I didn't charge it till day 6, and in that time I'd read 3.5 or 4 books cover to cover and still not had to charge it. And I think even then it was still on about 15%. Probably could have gotten away with it, but obviously bought the charger just in case. Like, I actually cannot believe how long the charge lasts on this. Like, it's actually crazy. And then my last main pro is that, like, you can see just how far through a book you are. Like, you know how long there is till the next chapter, know how long there is left in the book, know what page you're on. Like, everything is just like, the stats are just all there for you. I didn't show you that in the walkthrough, so I will just quickly show you now. You've got your page at the bottom here, and if you tap it, you can go through like loads of different options. So time left in chapter, time left in book, and then here you've got the percentage of the way through the book you are as well. So for the cons, I'm going to be real with you, there is only 2 cons, like that is it. The first one being it's not a physical book, so it isn't a book, and you do miss that feeling of holding a book. So when I am feeling that, reading loads on my Kindle, I do just go and pick up a physical book. Like, it is just that simple. Like, that is the only and pretty much main drawback, to be quite honest. Of course, the other one is the upfront cost. So I completely understand that it may be out of budget for some people because it's easier to buy like a book at a time instead of investing into like an actual device, but it would save you money in the long run. Like, it definitely would. But of course there is like the cost to start with. So I think my Kindle was about £120, but I got it on Black Friday. I think normally the Paperwhites are about £140, with the regular Kindles being between 80 and 100, but it depends what time of the year, it depends if it's on Prime Day. Like, there's all sorts of factors which contribute, and the gigabyte as well will definitely contribute to the price. So next up is how I get my books on Kindle, what I use, do I use Kindle Unlimited, what other channels are there to get your books, and we will dive straight in. So firstly, what is Kindle Unlimited? Kindle Unlimited is a subscription service where you get access to thousands and thousands of books for like one fixed cost. So you're not buying the books, it works more like a library, but it is really useful if you're not really influenced by booktubers. If you're not influenced by like the popular books and what's trending right now, and if it's not a specific book you want to read, Kindle Unlimited works really well because there really is thousands of options. And the good thing about it as well is you do get to access like some indie authors that you just wouldn't otherwise access. But I have to say there is a lot of popular books on there as well, including like the complete Freedom McFadden backlist, like authors like that. Everything's on there. I think quite a lot of Colleen Hoover's on there, Lauren Asher, authors like that. You're going to be fine on Kindle Unlimited. So instead of me going through like my favourite Kindle Unlimited reads now, it kind of seemed like a waste of time. I have done a video on my top 10 Kindle Unlimited thrillers already, so I'll pop the little thing up here. You can go and check out after if you would like. So the free for Kindle Unlimited is £9.50 a month in the UK. I'm not sure how much it is in the States or in Canada, so you'll have to check out in your own country like how much it is, but for the UK it is £9.50. so if you read 5 books a month, they're working out like a couple of pound, which I think is quite good, especially for popular books, like if you want to read those types of books, but I think you can do better. So my second favourite way to get books on Kindle is every month Amazon publish a massive list of hundreds of books that they all put down to a 99p. So this is like the 99p deal, sale, whatever you want to call it. I think they call it like discounted books. And every month on my Instagram I pop all my favourite ones and anything that like is popular into a nice little post for you, so you can just go and check them out. Very easy if you're not already over there. And this really is one of the best ways, because if you think about it, instead of paying £9.50 for KU, you're going to pay, if you got 9 books that you then own, instead of having to return like you do on Kindle Unlimited, you've paid even less money. And I'm not being funny, but I couldn't read 9 books on Kindle every single month. And the best part as well is there does tend to be better titles that are on the 99p deals. They're more popular titles, like more recent releases. They do try and get you by trying to give you like the second book in a series on 99p, and then you think, oh, amazing, I'll get it, I've been wanting to read that. Then you have to go buy the first one, so watch out for that. But like if you have your eye on a popular book and it's not 99p, chances are within the next couple of months, if you're not that desperate to read it, it will go down, or sometimes to £1.99. They like to do that as well, to just tease you. Can you get it cheaper? Can you not? And the only way to get books for free legally, because you are going to give something back in return for having these free books. We are not a fan of getting books for free on this page with nothing in return, and reducing the author's profits is definitely not what I am insinuating here. And the way we're going to do this is on NetGalley. So NetGalley is a platform where you can request an advanced copy of a book for free in return for an honest review. So you're probably thinking, Fran, yeah, like of course you can, like you've got followers to share your review with, but it doesn't actually work like that. You can be a blogger and you're probably more likely to get accepted for certain titles if you are and you do have a following, but anybody can do this if you are willing to exchange an honest review for an advanced copy of a book. you will get accepted, and the more you get accepted on and the more reviews you provide, the more other publishers will accept you. I have had some incredible books through NetGalley, and when I say I've managed to get an advance copy of this, I would say at least half the time it is through NetGalley. It's not through anything directly with the publisher, so it is a bit of a hidden gem. It's also so easy to use. Like, you literally create an account, log on, request a book, you get accepted or denied within like a few days. Like, it literally is that simple. Then you can send it straight to your Kindle through NetGalley itself, and it just appears in the uncollected section. And then once you've read it, whether you've enjoyed it or not, because they just want genuine, like, honest feedback, you go on, you leave your review. It's just like a star rating system and a comment, and that's it. You've got a book for free. So I will leave the links to NetGalley, Kindle Unlimited, and my latest like monthly 99p deals all in the description for you, so you can go and check out like these really easy ways to go and get Kindle books. But as I say, like, I rarely pay more than a couple of pounds for a Kindle book. So to summarize, do I think it is worth getting a Kindle? An absolute massive resounding yes from me. I got this device and I have literally never looked back. I thought it would ruin my reading experience and I would never pick up a physical book again, but that's not what it's done. It's just almost encouraged me to read more. I'll also leave like the link to my exact Kindle, the holder as mentioned, and my little clicker device, which was in the walkthrough. Oh no, it wasn't in the walkthrough. Oh, let me show you this before I finish. So this is my clicker device. This is my top secret, so I'm glad I've left this to the end, because if you're still here, you're gonna get the best. So I got this device off TikTok, but they sell the exact same thing on Amazon, and all it is a little two-piece device. You put the first one on the Kindle like this, you make sure that it's turned on. The other one is the clicker. You literally just click the button and it turns the page for you. So, combined with the Kindle holder and the Kindle clicker, you are literally just sat in bed like this. It's so much fun. So I will link that as well down below. I really hope you found this video useful. If there's any other like Kindle questions that you wanted answered in this video and they've not been here, or anything else you want to know about Kindle, I can of course do like a part 2, like a follow-up video. So do let me know, and I cannot wait to see you soon.